Welcome everyone to the hills of Vista, California. For the second year in a row, XGames finds a home in Elliott Sloan's backyard that he calls the Sloan Yard as it plays host to XGames 2023 as we get set to kick off Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. Welcome everyone, Jimmy Coleman here alongside the legend Scotty Kramer. We've got Mike Rooftop Escamilla out in the field. And well, Scotty, when we're talking about MegaPark, only the second time this event's been contested. You got to talk about Daniel Sandoval. He's got 6 X Games medals, 2 of those being Golden Park. He is a trick machine, and he's also going into 5 events this weekend.
He's coming off of that gold medal that was in Japan, but there's a difference between park and MegaPark. I mean, he's got some huge tricks that he does on the regular park, but when you have to transition to a bigger setup like this, we're going to see if he can lay it down, but I do have a lot of faith that he's going to be able to push the limits.
We also have to talk about Ryan Williams coming off a BMX Park Best Trick Gold at X Games Japan just a month and a half ago. He's also your defending gold medalist in this event from right here last year.
I mean, Ryan Williams is such a special talent on a BMX bike. I mean, every time we see him show up here at the X Games, he is pushing the envelope further and further, and it's always from the last time, right? From when he said it previous, which is insane. So I'm really curious to see what Ryan Williams is going to be bringing to MegaPark this weekend. I'm really excited about it.
So we are working off of a 100-point scale out here today. It is the best run that counts that hopefully puts you on that X Games podium. Mike Varga out of Canada. He's got 4 medals in 8 X Games appearances. He's actually competing in 4 different disciplines out here this weekend. He's in for his first attempt.
Wow, beautiful 720 tuck, no hander over the gap. Now you can see Varga has to carve all the way to the other side because he actually turns naturally to the right. Nice cash roll. Nice, he did the bar spin to tail whip on that final quarter pipe right there. So we got a full pull from Mr. Varga.
Yeah, and again, explain that. I mean, if you turn left naturally, I mean, you're set up going into that quarter pipe right there. But as you look at the replay, you see the way that Mike has to kind of just shoot over to the left right there and kind of alley-oop a little bit, drifting the opposite direction that he turns to get lined up for that second jump.
Yeah, so that is definitely going to be the hard part of these riders. And when I say these, there's actually 3 of them that turn this way. You can see he has to turn to the right and get over to the quarter pipe. So it's going to be more natural for the guys that turn to the left.
So you see there's a jam session clock right there, 30 minutes on the clock. And we think they'll get right around 4 runs or so. We'll see. They might be able to squeak in a 5th run. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But Mike Varga is going to check in with an 80.66. So we take a look at Daniel Sandoval, one of our 2 stories we talked about at the top of the show. 6 medals, 2 of them in park. And as you mentioned in our on-camera appearance there, Scotty, he just got his last one at X Games Japan back in May. But I talked about the arsenal of tricks that this guy has.
Oh, nice truck to down whip to bar spin.
Did you see how fast he threw that last bar spin in right there?
Now 360 double down whip, so he looks like he's heading to the last quarter pipe with a bar spin to tail as well, landing nice and smooth. So we got another run laid down right here. That was a very, very technical run. If you think about the amount of tricks that Daniel was able to fit in all of his attempts right there, it's pretty unbelievable.
He's pretty happy about that one as he makes his way back up the stairs. And he's like, wait a minute, stop. We got to get a reaction shot right there. So we'll see how this challenges the scoring ranks. Mike Varga sitting in that top spot right now with an 80.66. But when we look at the replays, look at how much that he does in that first jump, how many combinations he's able to put in over that first gap.
And one thing I want to talk about, too, with that first gap is you're not going to see many guys doing a 360 tail-up combinations on here, or just 360 combinations in general, because it's such a big, long jump, and the trajectory of it makes an awkward spin. But you have to be very confident in what you're doing to be able to send it like Daniel just did.
He elected to go for the invert there on the first quarter pipe, and he held on to that one for extra style points right there, and that'll be knocking on the door of almost a 90. That'll give him an 88 flat right now to put him in that top spot. So here in Monster Energy BMX MegaPark, 9 athletes total. It is a 30-minute jam session. We're thinking they're going to get 4, maybe possibly 5 runs. We'll have to see how this unfolds. The most you can get per score or per run is 100 points, and it is the best run that counts. And Scotty, let's talk about some of the things that the judges are looking for out here today.
So the lines for the judges that they're looking at: originality, difficulty, and style. I mean, all of these coming together in one run is very difficult, but every one of these guys have different original tricks. Every one of these guys have a trick in their arsenal that is like their ace in their deck, you know, for difficulty-wise. And style, it's you know, they want everything to be perfectly pulled.
Taking our first look at Zach Warden right here. making his return to the X Games after a bit of a hiatus right there and getting away from that one virtually unscathed. That got a little scary right there over that first set.
Yeah, so he was going for a backflip, bike flip, which he actually invented, which is insane to think about. I never thought that trick would have been possible, and still, he's the only person that ever had that trick dialed and would be willingly doing it. But look at that, he's got to get that bike to flip around while holding the grip. You want your hand to be loose on there. So right there, he just didn't have the bike in the right direction, so he wasn't able to get it and pull it underneath of him.
So that one's going to be a throwaway. Remember, it is the best run that counts, so he's going to get several more attempts at it as we now shift our focus to Andy Buckworth out of Australia, 33 years young. He has 2 medals in 11 X Games appearances. He owns a Big Air bronze medal and a Dirt Best Trick gold, which came in 2021.
Big Show Buckworth with the double backflip starting things off. He's another rider who has to turn to the right. Nice tuck no-hander, bringing some speed. The front flip tuck no-hander.
What's he going to end with here on this last quarter pipe?
And a nice carving flare. So we got a full pull from Mr. Buckworth right there.
I mean, look at the perfection. I mean, the double backflip, it's another day in the office for him. I mean, he puts those down in shows all the time. He's one of the original members of the Nitro Circus live show. Been doing that tour since 2010.
I'll go out there and I'll say that Andy Buckworth is the best double backflipper in the world when it comes to
Say it a little louder. He's right there. He's 5 feet away from you. I want him to hear that.
Oh, he knows. I praise him all the time. But the truth is, I've seen him do it over jumps that shouldn't be possible. So look at sending over this huge jump, perfect rotation, lands with so much confidence. And look how high he's going on that tuck no-hander air.
Just perfectly locks the knees underneath the bars. And then it was the front flip no-hander over that second roller feature right there. And that's going to net him at 83.33. It's not going to overtake Sandoval right now, but that'll wedge him in between Daniel Sandoval and Mike Varga. That's good enough to challenge for a silver medal position as of right now as we are approaching the 23-minute mark here in the jam session. Michael Laren from Racine, Wisconsin on course.
Wow, I love Michael. I love his style, love everything he does on a BMX bike. He just represents the perfect coreness of BMX, to everything that we love about BMX. And look at that double downside tail whip right there.
One thing I want to mention, he's riding with it's his right shoulder, I believe he said, that's not 100%. He dislocated that thing the other day, and actually in practice, I think he said last night, he thought it was going to pop out again, so he's definitely not feeling 100%. He said, my mindset going in is, hey, you know what? It's a beautiful day. Let's go out there and have fun with your friends.
Oh, and look at that. There's different kinds of people that have fun in different ways, and in doing a double downside tail whip higher than anybody else has so far today, I mean, that's a different kind of fun right there. But look at that beautiful 360 look back. I mean, that's what he's known for. But man, he was up there, straight up, straight down too. There's really not much room to carve, so all your momentum has to carry straight up instead of like going sideways. So that was a beautiful run for Michael.
So we'll see where this slides him in. He's going to check into the 80s as well, an 84.66. So he's actually going to go ahead of Andy Buckworth. Hey, Michael, that just puts you in the number 2 spot, my friend. They're close enough to where we can actually talk to him this year when they pop up on the deck right there. So Michael Laren now finds himself in a silver medal position. So it's Sandoval, Laren, and Buckworth here, your top 3. Still lots of time left on that clock, and we haven't even gone through the run order yet as we look at last year's bronze medalist. This is Jay Toohey.
Jay starting things off with a double backflip as well. It must be an Australian thing. Straight into the tuck no-hander. That's really important right here on the second one. Nothing from bike flip. And the triple tail whip. Wow.
Right there, the nothing front bike flip into a triple whip right there. That was amazing.
That was a huge run right there. Wow, I can't believe he was able to get that nothing front bike flip, get that momentum, and come in with such a high triple tail whip as well.
Telling the story, I was talking about Michael and that shoulder. Jay had an problem with his shoulder last year as well. He was definitely not feeling it in practice, and then he just, when it was time to go, he sent it, and he ended up walking out of here with a bronze medal. But how about this run to start it off for Jay Toohey?
Yeah, beautiful big tuck no-hander air carving across that ramp, but this is where it gets really interesting, that nothing from bike flip.
What do you think? This is going to overtake that 88?
This is going to be close. I think
barely.
It does.
89.33. Jay Toohey, welcome to the top of the leaderboard in round 1, my friend.
And deservingly, man. That was a beautiful run right there. And you know what? He did it for Pat Casey, and Pat would be very proud of that one.
Yeah, we have not mentioned that yet. You saw Morgan Waite's gloves. It said, "I heart Pat." Pat Casey, your silver medalist in this, longtime BMX rider. We unfortunately lost Pat earlier this year, so a lot of these guys definitely feeling the emotion of that. Now they're riding for Pat. As we take a look at Ryan Williams, your defending gold medalist, and just sends it on the first
Wow, the twister, which is a
look at the size of that
720 front flip. This is insane.
Did you see where his back tire was?
Oh, he is going huge right now.
Into the front.
Gets the front flip flare as well.
He was a little frustrated with himself in practice right before we got this thing started, and he just fires one off in the first go here, Scotty.
Wow, the momentum he brought into that one right there, just everything from start to finish. It just looked like so much confidence on his bike.
That excites me, but that also terrifies me at the same time. When he says, "Hey, run one's in the books, now we can go crazy," you never know with Ryan. He's always throwing stuff out. He needs an 89.33 to overtake Jay Tui. We're just under 20 minutes to go here. So now that it takes a while for this score to come in, that tells me there's a discussion going on down there. We are into the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. A 93 flat for your defending gold medalist. Ryan Williams finds himself on the top of the leaderboard here at the end of round one. So we are just getting started here at Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. We'll have more when we return to Elliott Sloan Yard. Welcome back, everyone. X Games 2023 returns to Sloan Yard. We are smack dab in the middle of Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. We have completed one round of runs here in our 30-minute jam session, and after the end of round one, it's your defending gold medalist Ryan Williams sitting in the top spot as of now with a score of 93. Jimmy Coleman here in the booth alongside Scotty Kramer. Right now, we send it down to the third member of our crew and one of the first BMX riders to ever ride the mega ramp. It's none other than Mike Rooftop Escamilla.
Thanks, guys. Man, to see where MegaPark has come since 2005 when they asked me to set a few world records, and, well, it's not the same anymore. Watching these guys, I could have never imagined that it would come this far. See what R-Wheeler just did? You got that? You told me that, remember? Yeah, he did tell you. Daniel Sandoval going off. Everyone has been amazing so far. Just to know that was the first run, so many people put down amazing first runs that now it kind of opens the day up to anything goes.
We're moving up on the 15-minute mark here. We get set to take another look at Daniel Sandoval. Now finds himself on the bubble for the podium here.
Oh, so he was going for the, it looked like he was looking for a little something extra on there. But you know what, there's one thing I'm going to bring up right now. The wind, I felt a little bit of gust, but he says the double decade! What? Wow.
That one caught up to him a little bit. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and pop out after that one. I got to see that again.
I can't tell you how scary and technical and just unbelievable that trick is right there. That nobody is doing that besides him right now, like especially over a jump that big. But going back to it, like the wind is blowing towards the ramp, so it's like a headwind coming at it when you're going down the first straight.
Oh my!
It's just crazy. Just imagine that, spinning around the handlebars in a little ball and trying to get your feet to clear that area, and he landed it perfect. But that gets me so excited for the next run.
How in the heck did he find the pedals on that? I mean, obviously without doing a trick on the last quarter pipe, that's going to be a lower score, but he's still sitting in that bronze medal spot for now as we take a look here from round two at Zach Warden. Is he going to get this one around?
Oh, he was right there. He got the tires to touch that time.
So to tell the tale, I mean, he's got 2 big air gold medals. He's got a silver and 2 bronze. He went on a run there in 2013 when X Games went international. He got a gold medal in big air in Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil, and then he followed that up in Barcelona. And Zach actually told us when we saw him here today on site that this is his retirement party. He said this will be his last X Games. We'll talk more about that. We get into round 3. So right now we're looking at Andy Buckworth. He was looking at a potential medal. He now finds himself all the way down in that number 6 position with an 83.33.
And he absolutely has the tricks to put himself back on the top. We're going to see what he sends on this big jump. There's a double backflip with momentum, bringing that speed in. We were telling you a little earlier, he's the one that has to carve to the right there, so it makes it a little bit harder for him to get the speed. Wow, going for that front flip Superman. And a nice carving flare.
So changing it up a little bit, going for a different front flip combo there on that second jump. He sits a full point behind Mike Varga right now. So a similar run, just went for a different trick selection there at one point.
So checking out this replay, here's that double backflip flying around. Look at how much momentum he carries into this quarter pipe. Like I said, it's a little bit harder for him because he turns to the right, but there's that front flip Superman. You know, you're trying to get that separation, be able to kick those legs and bring that bike back around to catch it.
So you need a 93 to overtake Ryan Williams. You need an 88 flat or better if you're going to jump into the top 3 right there. Judge is talking that one over. So he's going to end up with an 86. So that'll get him 3 points ahead of his first run. So that slides him up. Now he's knocking on the door of podium contention. That'll move Andy from 6th into 4th. Here at Monster Energy BMX MegaPark, we are getting ready to take a look at Michael Laren for run number 2. He sits 1 spot behind Andy Buckworth for right now. He's in that number 5 position.
So Michael brought so much confidence to this ramp on his last run. Nice, beautiful Superman seat grab, stretching that bike into a beautiful look back that he's just known for in the sport of BMX.
Just look at that style. Just oozes confidence when he rides this ramp.
Yeah, every rider just gets jealous when he gets on the ramp just because he looks like so smooth, so confident. He looks like he belongs on that BMX bike.
You know, and one thing that we didn't really talk about earlier, and we mentioned this last year, is it's not like these guys, I mean, you know, this is a skater's backyard, so, I mean, it's a skate-heavy crowd here. It's not like the BMXers get out here and get a lot of time to ride this thing. We take a look here at Michael's second run.
So Michael's a goofy-footed rider. You can see that he spins to his left, but he also is left foot forward. I mean, but that incorporates his own style into it, especially when he does the 360 look-backs.
Okay, so he that 84.66. We'll see if this bumps him up. No, he's going to stick with that first run score. It's going to keep him in that number 5 spot. But going back to the point I was making before, the score and the replay there, it's not like these guys get to come out here and practice and ride this thing. For a lot of these guys, outside of last year, it's the only time that they've ever ridden this, and they haven't touched it since that event last year. So it's impressive to see what we're seeing here in just year 2 of this event as we bring back in Jay Toohey.
Jay Toohey with that beautiful double backflip. Nice tuck no-hander.
That was, he just dropped down. He did.
And you
got the last bit of transition.
He knew it right when he was in air. He said, oh no, because he knew that he was hanging out a little bit too far on that ramp. And I can even imagine, you know, that's a 20-plus foot tall ramp. And then Jay Toohey's getting near 10 feet above that. When you're staring down 30 feet to flat right there and you're going to land low, that is a nightmare situation.
Yeah, it's, you know, preservation is also the name of the game as well, because, you know, a lot of these guys are competing in multiple events. We'll see Jay in dirt later on the week when we get up to Ventura. But again, he's sitting in the number 2 spot for now. It is best run that counts as we get back to the top of Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. So one more rider to go in the run order here for round number 2. But before we get to the guy sitting in the top spot, let's learn a little bit more about him in this X Games profile.
I'm Ryan Williams, I'm 29 years old, and I'm from the Sunshine Coast in Australia.
Ryan Williams, he has an arsenal of tricks.
I recently competed at the X Games in Japan, and I managed to win my first ever gold medal in park best trick.
That's a Flare 900. That's BMX history right there.
I owe that all to my best friend Luke Berlin, who recently passed away due to mental illness. He really made me believe in myself during the training for that.
That's it!
Let's go with me! Oh. I want to carry that confidence that he gave me into X Games California. I know that he wouldn't want me to sit around being sad. He'd want me to go out there and do my best and have as much fun as I possibly can. So this one's going to be for my best friend, Luke Berlin.
So as we mentioned earlier in the show, it's been a bit of a hit this year for the action sports community. We mentioned the loss of Pat Casey, and then Ryan talking about the loss of his friend Luke Berlin, and Ryan using that as motivation. You know, he's actually got messages written on his gloves. I mean, a lot of time. I did a show with him not too long ago, and every time he'd roll in the Nitro Circus live show, he'd point up the sky and say, "This one's for you, Luke." But Ryan sitting in that top spot for now here with that 93. Where does he go from here, Scotty?
Oh, he's only going up. I can promise you that. that this is a gift for us that we get him landing and getting a first place score on the first run, because now
see, the pressure's off, and now he's just having fun. If he would have slid 4 feet further, he would have taken out our entire table and our monitor right here, and possibly rooftop in the process. What did he just say to you?
I'm not too sure I'm laughing too hard. I can't handle it.
Oh, man.
I landed so far, I thought I was about to explode.
Okay, he said he landed so far, he's about to explode. So he saved it, and he saved us, I think, too.
So if you're watching this, you're like, how are you guys that close? Literally, our table, our booth is literally just out of the screenshot right there when they get up on the deck of the quarter pipe right here. Taking a look down the roll, and that is what you're looking at when you roll down this monstrosity here at Elliott Sloan's backyard. But you heard him at the end of that first run. He's like, pressure's off. Now we can just have fun. So round 2 is in the books. No change to our top 3. It's still Williams, Tui, Sandoval. We'll have more when we return to X Games 2023. Welcome back, everyone, to Elliott Sloan's Sloan Yard here as it plays host to X Games 2023 here in the middle of Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. 2 runs are in the books. We're about to kick off round number 3, but before we get to it, let's check in one more time with Mike, Rooftop Escamilla.
I'm here with our Willie, and it's just after your second run. Now, I want to take it back a second. When you first started entering this event, you were people thought you was like a scooter kid, and they kind of didn't know how to take you, and almost sort of called you out like you weren't very good. And then over the years, you've slowly won everyone's heart and showed them that you are probably the top competitor to ever enter this this event.
Thanks,
how are you feeling today?
Man, I'm a little bit nervous. This ramp scares me, even though I'm used to big ramps. It's different when it comes to this ramp. You got 4 jumps instead of 2. It's not the mega. It's not quite as big, but I got to represent. I know people gave me a lot of grief when I first started for riding a scooter, but hey, I'm as much a BMX rider as I am a scooter rider. So I'm here to represent BMX, here to represent scooters, here to represent action sports.
And we're super glad you're here. And back to Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, he's representing action sports as a whole. I mean, that guy is a great ambassador. I mean, he always has the best time. When you see that guy at a contest, you see him at the Nitro Live shows. As we get back to the top of Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. Here we go. Morgan Wade. Again, Mitchie, you see I Heart Pat right there on the gloves. All of these guys out here riding and celebrating in the memory of Pat Casey.
And you could just feel the spirit of Pat being in this competition today. Everybody is just having such a good time. They're just so grateful to be on their bike, to be able to be in this competition today. And of course, they are going to up the ante and throw down for Pat.
Just under 6 minutes to go. Morgan heading down the roll in here. Had some trouble on that second jump feature. Let's see if he can get past it here in run 3.
Nice, can he get the momentum?
There it was.
Here we go.
What's it going to be on the quarter, on the last quarter?
Double whip. Wow, and that height. That was vintage Morgan Wade right there. Unbelievable, man. He was so high up there on that last quarter.
You had the one-handed tail whip that went wrong in run number 1. Then it was the front flip that didn't come all the way around in run number 2. And now he puts it all together in run number 3. The question is, what's going to happen to that score? He's got a 57th pre-run that's got him down in 8th place for now.
It's going to be close right here. I can't wait to see what this run is. But the thing is, when the judges are going off of these runs, you have riders that might have some bigger tricks than Morgan, but Morgan is always bringing the confidence on the quarter pipe, and that definitely plays a role. He's just so proud to be able to get that run. And like I said, I say this all the time, like BMX riders, it's going against yourself before you're going against the other riders. They have some plans that they bring to this competition. And when they're able to stomp that run, that means more to them than anything else. But look how high he was on that double tail whip.
Just so casual on that double whip with a perfect landing on that one. What's it going to be? He's into the 90s, a 91.33. Morgan Wade now finds himself in a silver medal position. It happened by virtue of that last run, sir. He looked over at us and said, how'd that
you
happen?
just being Morgan Wade, that's how that happens right there. That was amazing.
So your top 2 scores in the 90s. That's tough news for this gentleman, Daniel Sandoval, because he now finds himself on the outside looking in with a chance to answer back.
So here goes Sandoval. Beautiful invert. He's looking for that momentum into this one. Sending that double.
Is he going to do it again?
Oh, the bike got a little loose on that one. It somehow managed to get back underneath of him.
Well, the invert on the quarter pipe, he wasn't feeling 100% with that. You could hear him talking that one through as he was up in the air with the hang time on that one. But again, going for that double decade. I don't know how he got it around to the pedals the last time.
He's looking at his bike right now. He might have experienced something landing off of one of those right there. But here we go. Here's a replay of the double decade. You can see the bike started drifting away, but it somehow managed to work its way back underneath.
I'm impressed that he made it around to where he did on that.
Yeah, because you're looking for the speed, you're looking for the momentum. So yeah, the bike just spun around. It looked like it just kind of got caught up right there.
All right, so we'll have to look to round number 4 here for Daniel. Let's check in one more time with Rooftop.
We're up top here with Zach Warden, who Jimmy mentioned earlier. This is his retirement contest. Now, Zach has been in over 30 X Games and holds 3 X Games gold in this event. So it's a pretty big deal to him, and I think a pretty big deal to everyone else, because we've spent so many years watching and loving everything he's done and how much he's contributed to this. So I'm hoping he puts it down here, and good luck, Zach.
Yeah, over the year, I mean, the first time we saw Zach was back in 2007 X Games LA. He made an appearance out there in Big Air as well as Vert. He owns 2 gold medals, a silver and 3 bronze. He's got 2 gold, a silver, and 2 bronze in Big Air, and he's got a Big Air doubles bronze medal as well.
So that's the biggest thing, right? You want to show up and be able to stomp a run. That's all we want to see. Every rider that's here, every judge, we want to see Zach Warden go out with the tires down, be able to get that trick that he invented, the backflip, bike flip. To be able to stomp that on his last event would be epic. It would be such an amazing going out party for him.
It's crazy, too, because he told us, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy, and then he's trying to do a trick like that. So hopefully he can get that down as we're under 3.5 minutes to go here. So we'll see if we get into a 4th round of runs. Andy Buckworth now finds himself in that number 5 spot. Remember, he was in 6 going into round 2, jumped up to that number 4 position, but after what we saw to Morgan Wade, Mr. Buckworth now sits in that number 5 spot. See if he changes up the line. Saw something a little bit different in run 2. See what he does in round 3.
Beautiful double backflip. Once again, he's a guy that turns to the right, makes it a little bit harder for him to get the speed and carry on. Big front flip. And he did the, that's the throwaway air. That's the signature, just having fun out here. It didn't work out, but I'm just gonna open up and just make fun of myself on it.
We can feel the wind gust sitting here on the deck. I mean, you can feel how it kicked up right there. And I mean, when that stuff kicks up, and as you mentioned before, it's blowing into the deck. So at that point, when you're on the bike, you're above that quarter pipe, it's going to blow you away from the lip, away from the transition, and send you to the flat, which is not good.
So me and Mike Escamilla, we've both been there before. When you're in a run situation, when it doesn't work out, you just kind of got to roll with the punches, right, Mike?
You got to roll with the punches. You got to remember that you don't want to waste anything that's not going to be actually matter. Oh, Michael Aaron back on with a big Superman C grab. Let me toss back to you guys, Jimmy.
Yeah, so Michael, I mean, he is somebody that, it just brings such an amazing trick. It's like that 720, sneaking that in there. And the double downside tail whip. Are you kidding me?
Did you see how he just slid that 720 and it just feather touched that thing down?
Oh, he just snuck like right over the top of it, just landed perfect. It was just like the perfect situation, right? You're looking for that speed, you're looking for that momentum, and to be able to make that spin and to carry that momentum right over the top of it. And look what it led into. He went straight into a huge double downside tail whip. Him and Morgan Wade are bringing the air when it comes to this final quarter pipe, and that goes to their ability to adapt. I mean, they're the ones that have been used to riding stuff like Mega, and also Vert Michael's ridden before. So let's get a replay of this 720 right right here leading into it. And there's the double downside tail whip.
That was at the end there. That was
Yes.
after the 7. I want to say we're not going to get this. I mean, he put that thing, it was so perfect and so smooth. I mean, just the way that he slid that thing in right past the roller of that landing. And by the way, he dislocated his shoulder the other night, and he's riding with an injured shoulder and an 87.66 to put him in that number 5 spot. So he'll overtake Andrew Buckworth there. But how about that 7 into that double downside whip on the quarter?
It was beautiful. That was, and you know what? He's so proud of himself. I can see him out here on the deck. He's just so glad of being able to stomp that run, but he could potentially get another one.
We're down to 2 riders left to go in the rotation. There's a little bit of time left on the clock, so we may get into that 4th and final round. If time does round out, they do let everyone take their final run, so everyone gets the same amount of runs. Jay Toohey with a double backflip started off.
So big, so much momentum. Look at that tuck no-hander. That was perfect. Nothing front bike flip again. Switching his feet up. Wow! Triple tail whip at height right there. Oh my goodness.
He had no transition left out of that one and fought that one to the bitter end to hang on to that.
Yeah, and that was his highest air of the day, no doubt about it. He knew right when he was up in the air, he was doing those tail ups, he's like, this is going to be a rough landing. But
did you hear Ryan up on top of the roll and yelling at him, "You animal, man"?
Yeah, when Ryan Nyquist calls you an animal, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, that hurt my ankles just watching that one right there.
I think I said Ryan Nyquist.
Hey, listen, it's okay.
Nyquist.
Listen, you're Scotty Kramer. You're allowed to say whatever you want.
I'm so glad Mike Escamilla told me about that one. I couldn't. At least I'm able to recover.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I'm hoping that somebody else did out there, at least
Hey, maybe Ryan Nyquist is sitting at home going, "Hey, thanks for the shout out, Scotty."
It just goes back to me being around the sport for as long as I have. Ryan Nyquist, he was such a legend in BMX, forever, and I got to ride with him, ride against him. But yeah, back to this one though. Let's get back to Ryan Williams, the current legend.
So you heard Ryan in that last feature in run 3 talking about, or round 2 talking about his friend Luke, who we lost earlier this year. He's actually wearing Luke Perlin's helmet as he rides in this contest out here today, as well as what he told us earlier.
Look at that, bringing that momentum again with the flare. No, he did not.
How did he have the time to do that? And come on! How did you have the time to do those 2 things back to back?
That front flip inward was insane.
Look at Mike's face.
Mike Escamilla is looking at us right now. It's like he's seeing something that just wasn't possible.
I keep forgetting we're on camera over here for the react.
Wow.
I gotta put my notes down because I keep blocking the shot right
goodness.
there. Come on!
Insane.
Come on!
Oh my God, it was perfect. It came around and he found the pedals perfectly and he had that momentum to be able to get that front flip flare. That was beautiful. I can't wait to see what the score is.
So he's got a 93 from round 1. You got Morgan Wade from that last round sitting in the number 2 spot with a 91.33, 96.66.
96.66 right there.
Remember, the best run you can get is 100. And he's knocking on the door of perfection right there with a 96.66.
Wow. And once again, giving credit and love to his friend Luke, but that was absolutely beautiful run right there.
So 3 rounds are in the books. Ryan Williams has upped the ante, increases that lead. Morgan Wade now sits in the silver. Jay Toohey looking at a bronze. 1 more round to run still to go. We'll have more when we come back to X Games 2023. Welcome back, everyone, to Elliott Sloan's Sloan Yard for the conclusion of Monster EnergyBMX MegaPark. 3 rounds of runs are in the books. A little bit of time left on the clock, so that means we will get a 4th and final round of runs. Jimmy Coleman here alongside Scotty Kramer. We've got Mike Rooftop Escamilla out in the field, but your top 3 right now, it's Ryan Williams, your defending gold medalist, sitting in the top spot with a 96.66. Morgan Wade jumped up into a silver medal spot here in that last round with a 91.33, and Jay Toohey holding on to a bronze medal position for now. However, One more round of runs left to go. This one is still up for grabs, Scotty.
Yeah, so we got Caden Stone up here, and he's pulled a run, right? You know, he got the flat tire the last time, but he hung up on the second jump because he's not used to riding these big quarter pipes. Just think about that. This is a 20-foot quarter pipe that he's riding for the very first time, but he's got this twister locked in every single run.
Yeah, he's 4 for 4 on those out here.
Come on, he needs the speed to be able to complete this run. There's the triple tail up, and he lands in the landing this time. Bar spin to double tail.
But he hangs on.
Way once again.
Thought he was going into the retaining wall right there, but he hangs on and rides away, and that was the one. Remember, on that second jump, he's been coming up short and hitting that roller right there, but he makes it here when it counts.
I got it.
He forgot his bike, he just said. He didn't have enough speed, now he's got to go to the walk of shame to go get that one up.
It's okay, Caden, we have people for that. They'll go get it for you.
It'll be handled.
Hey, hats off to Dustin Orr, by the way, for the quick job on getting the flat tire fixed as well, because we saw him running away after that last run.
I promised you it would be completed. Dustin is the best, man. It's so great to have him here to help support the riders. But back over to Caden, to be able to get a full pull, to be able to make it over through the course. I mean, like I said, this is his first time riding a big quarter pipe like this. So this is not easy at all. You have to adapt. This is his first X Games competition being in here.
Oh, by the way, when I said we have people for that to collect your bike, it's your current leader, Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams just brought the bike up here. I can't believe this. And this just goes to show how amazing person Ryan Williams is.
Did you see on that landing? Did you see where he was pointing at the front tire? He was pointed directly for the X Games logo on that retaining wall, held on, kept his feet on the pedals, and rode away from that one. As we get back to the top of Monster EnergyBMX MegaPark. Here we go with our final look here at Mike Varga. There's the bar spin at the last second. He wanted that the last run, but didn't get it done.
Oh, that was beautiful right there. Going for that cash roll. He's got that momentum.
What's he going to do on the quarter pipe for the last attempt?
The bar spin, the whip at height, landing with transition there. That was an awesome run. That is definitely upping things from his previous right there, especially with his attacks over the doubles. I mean, that no-handed 720 to late bar spin, he was able to get the hands off that time, nice and wide. That looked textbook.
I mean, look at mid-80s goes all the way down to 8th place right now. I mean, that's a pretty heavy score, and that's only good enough for 8th place, just to give you the level of tricks, the level of competition that we're seeing out here today in Monster EnergyBMX MegaPark.
Yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, these guys are bringing their A game. We're seeing the best of the best compete here in MegaPark. And look at that, so high up and over that double. You know, he's coming over here, he's getting that tabletop, trying to get that speed to head over for this cash roll.
So again, 84.33, it's got him in 8th. What is it going to be? The judges, again, taking a little bit of time to talk this one over because it's taken a while for that score to come in. Remember, the best possible run you can get, 100 points. 89.33 is the bubble right now to transfer into a medal position. You need that or higher to overtake J2 and an 85. So that is not going to be, it's an improvement. Yeah. It's only going to get him up one spot right there, but you got to give him credit. That last run, he was trying to throw that bar spin in there, and he gets it done here in that 4th and final run. However, you're going to see him in a lot of other events this weekend as we move X Games up into Ventura. As we take a look at Morgan Wade.
Who's currently in silver. This is amazing. I know Morgan Wade is super proud of what he's put down today, but he's not going to hold back. He is definitely going to try to up the ante.
That's an understatement.
It's just in his blood. It's just what he does. So I'm excited to see what happens. Here we go.
Just try to send a huge double tail up on that quarter pipe. I don't know.
Oh, man. Just came in a little bit too hot right there, over-rotating that 360 flip. You know, catching the right axis is so important to be able to get that flip, keep that bike underneath of you when you rotate around there.
Well, he's still sitting in a silver medal spot for now. He finished out in 8th in this event last year. Last time he medaled at X Games was back in Minneapolis 2019. He got a silver in big air inside the US Bank Stadium. We're going to check in real quick here once again with Rooftop.
Next up is Daniel Sandoval, and this is his last chance to medal. He's almost put down a bunch of really wild tricks, double decades, but hasn't quite had a run that got him up in the standings. But he's bringing it all day. He brought a nose ring, he brought a mustache. He's ready to make this happen.
And he checks off on the style portion of the criteria right there.
So yeah, they're looking for difficulty with the tricks. They're looking for originality and the style, as you just heard Rooftop mention right there. He's one spot on the outside. Look at it. Look
wow, that was perfect that time around. Look at the height on that quarter pipe.
Okay, that was huge.
And he's sending the double decade. Oh my goodness.
Remember, he made that earlier. He went for it in the last run, but the setup air in the quarter pipe wasn't enough to get him around right there. And he goes for it again. So close.
But he almost landed it somehow. Like it looked like worst case scenario. The bike was like completely away from it, turned around, but he somehow found the bike. But look at this invert, just so high up there. The judges are going to love to see that right there.
That's a tough one right there. An 88 flat, that's got him on the outside, so he's going to have to stick with that score, and it is not going to be enough to put him into podium contention. As we take one more look at Zach Worden, we've talked about this multiple times already, his retirement performance out here. It's been a great run over 16 years, 30 different appearances for him.
Yes, he landed it. Oh, that is so huge. I can't even tell you. We're all rooting for him to be able to land that trick.
Listen to Morgan Wade cheering him on.
Yes.
Come on, Zach. There you go. And he gets a complete rundown on the fourth and final attempt. What a way to finish off your X Games career right there for Zach Worden.
Oh, man. You know what? Storybook ending, right? You want to be able to get, at the top of the podium, but for Zach to be able to come back and to be able to land that trick, the trick that he invented, the trick that got him the X Games medals in the past. I mean, it's just beautiful. That trick's been haunting him for so long. For him able to pull that on his last attempt, his last time ever to be here at the X Games is just so important.
I mean, he ran on a run that 2013 season. He got a gold medal in FOS as we take another look right here.
Oh, that was textbook. Look at he landed standing up. It was clean as could be. And to land that one-handed tabletop right there, that's like a salute right there to his career in X Games.
Yeah, he got a gold medal in Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil. He followed it up in Barcelona with another gold. He got a bronze in Munich and a bronze in LA that year. I mean, he was 4 for 4 on the podium right there. Zach Worden, it was awesome to see you do that in your last X Games performance. And thank you, sir, for all the memories over the years. And we wish you well here at Monster EnergyBMX MegaPark. Several more riders left to go here before we hand out some hardware. Andy Buckworth found himself in that number 4 position, was knocking on the door. He now slides 2 spots down to that number 6 spot. What's he going to do here, Scotty, to try to up the ante?
Oh, there's a double backflip again. So he, like I said, he turns to the right, so this makes it a little bit harder for him to get the speed and momentum. There we go, pushing the legs off that time. He's got to recover though.
No, and then he has to pop out right there. Wasn't feeling it, so he doesn't do a trick and has to jump out on the quarter pipe right there. However, you got to give him credit for the extension on that front flip Superman that time.
Yes, it was beautiful that time. He was able to straighten out the legs, get proper extension, be able to whip that bike around. It's just his feet just weren't able to stick to the pedals. I can't just tell you how much G-force these riders are experiencing when they're landing on both this quarter pipe and the landings of the jump. But look at that double backflip. I mean, it's just what we expect from Andy Buckworth. It's just what he does. It's just, he's the best in the world at that trick. But that front flip Superman, when he was able to straighten out his feet and be able to time it coming around, he knew it right there. He was like, I'm going to be sending it on this quarter pipe. But it just didn't work out for him that time. But he's leaving this one happy and healthy, and he's got more events this weekend.
So we're down to our final 3. Michael Lairn, Jay Toohey, and Ryan Williams will round out the order. 2 of those gents that I just named off are already in the top 3 as of right now. So Michael, the last man standing that can shake up our top 3. He sits in that number 5 position right now with an 87.66. Here we go with his 4th and final attempt.
Oh, there's Michael bringing that speed to that quarter pipe. Beautiful tabletop, carving across that whole ramp. And he's going to 7 again. He sneaks it in there that time.
2 for 2 on those.
Oh, and a perfect downside double tail. Beautiful day for Michael, bringing the spirit of BMX here. Just a happiness. Everybody's rooting for him. That's the vibe we want here at X Games.
Do 720s and double down whips with a shoulder that you dislocated the other day.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
I'm just going to cruise. I'm just going to have some fun.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be leaving this competition in a sling, and that's the most important thing.
Got it.
Well, I mean, what a performance by everybody here in the lineup out here today as we take a look back here from his last attempt.
Beautiful flip, but look at his feet switched in the air, so he had to switch it back to left foot forward right there.
Look at the style there on that quarter pipe.
And that's what he's known for, just cranking in those tabletops and those look backs. That's his specialty for sure.
You land that quarter, you're good. You got
So an
everything.
87.66 was what he was looking at. So he's going to end up sticking with that score. That'll leave him in the number 5 spot. But again, another excellent performance. I mean, it's all about attitude and just self-preservation, as we were talking about. Just having a great time out there, and it shows in his riding. Taking a look at our final 2 riders here. They're both in the top 3. That is J2 getting ready to go next, sitting in a bronze medal spot, followed by your leader, Ryan Williams, there with a 96.66. So this is the last one that can overtake that top spot for Mr. Williams.
And he's really fully capable of doing this in this run. All right, come on, Jay. We need the speed. Nothing front bike flip.
Okay, coming into one more feature here, that last quarter pipe.
Oh my goodness, he tried to sneak it in there. But that's what you have to do here at X Games. You have to push the envelope. Wow, he knew what he had to do. He had to go for it right there. He had to try to sneak an extra one in there.
For Luke, for Pat, let's go.
Yeah, you can see on the bottom of Ryan's gloves there, it says check on your mates. That's kind of been his rally cry at events that I've seen him at since the loss of his friend Luke.
I went all in, but I don't have
But look at everything was going so great for Jay. You know, he landed a little bit low right here, but he was able to bring that momentum. But you know what, Jay's got some other events this weekend that he gets to focus his energy towards, and you know what, look at the position he's in right now.
Yeah, he
can't
walked
complain
out
about
here
that at all.
with a bronze medal last year, and he's going to follow up with another bronze medal here in 2023. So nice work there for J2. He's been on a bit of a run lately as far as medals since 2021 is concerned. But Ryan Williams, your defending gold medalist.
Don't blame me that I'm just going to have some fun right now. I love you.
I just
I love his energy.
You just think about this. This is one of the best riders in the world, and he brings the craziest tricks, and he's able to like just focus, have a conversation with everybody, and just drop in and just send it.
He's just talking to himself while he's going through the run. I absolutely love it.
So there we go, a little victory run for Ryan Williams, well deserved. Another gold medal for this guy. Unbelievable talent, and like I said, BMX is just lucky to have him here, pushing the limit and pushing X Games to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, going back to X Games Japan that you and I got to call back in May, he got a Park Best Trick gold medal there, and then he comes into Elliott Sloan's backyard here in 2023 and adds another gold medal to the tally here. So he's 2 for 2 in gold medal performances here in BMX MegaPark.
I like MegaPark a lot.
So let's check in once again with Rooftop, who's with our winner.
Ryan, another MegaPark win. How do you keep doing this, man?
I don't know, man. You know, that was hard, but something harder in life is losing your best friend to mental health. So just want to make sure, check on your friends every day. Tell them you love them. Give them a hug. It might stop them, you know, might keep them here longer. And also, Pat Casey, man, I love you. You're here with everyone, with Dubby. You're making us send it. I wish you were dropping in just before me, brother, because you pushed me so hard. And we all love you. We all miss you, brother, all right?
Well, congratulations and feeling the love.
Thanks for teaching me everything I know.
Rooftop getting shout-outs right there. And again, you know, shout-out to Pat Casey and Luke Berlin. I mean, it's been a tough year in the action sports community, and Ryan Williams giving all of the love right there. When it's all said and done, Jay Toohey walks out of here with his second ever MegaPark medal. He's 2 for 2 in bronze. Morgan Wade adds another medal to his tally. That is his 10th total X Games medal, and Ryan Williams walks out of here with another Monster Energy BMX MegaPark gold. An epic day of competition here at Elliott Sloan Yard for Monster Energy BMX MegaPark. When it's all said and done, Jay Toohey backs it up with another bronze medal performance. Morgan Wade adds his 10th total X Games medal to his trophy case, but it's Ryan Williams walking out of here with yet another X Games gold.